Chapter 14. Disturbing News. Helene Harmon could not hide a look of dismay as she recognized Penny. "Well, I scarcely expected to meet you so soon," she laughed self-consciously. I came here trying to find a dentist." "I'm afraid you're in the wrong building and the wrong street," replied Penny. "There are no dentists in this neighborhood." "The lower floor of the building is vacant," explained Mrs. Weems. "Osandra occupies the room above." Just at that moment, I doubt that the great Osandra would be in the mood to receive visitors, Penny added with a chuckle. "But then I don't suppose you're interested in seeing him either." No, of course not," the dancer stammered. "Is your tooth paining you a great deal?" inquired Mrs. Weems sympathetically. "I know a very good dentist on Glenmore Avenue." "The pain has let up since I left the theater. Perhaps I'll not bother today." Miss Harmon was so ill at ease that Penny wondered if she had intended to visit the dentist at all. She firmly believed that the dancer had meant to call upon the medium. Reluctantly, the woman turned away from the stairs. "I had planned to run over to the theater and see you this afternoon," Penny remarked, as the three walked along together. "You said over the telephone that the witch doll had been returned. Tell me all about it." "There is absolutely nothing more to tell. After we threw the doll in the river, I returned to my hotel. Later, when I went to the theater, the witch doll was lying on my dresser." "The very same doll?" "Yes, it's uncanny. I've heard of queer things, but never anything like that," Penny declared. "How could that doll have been recovered from the river and delivered back to you? It just isn't possible." "I can show you the doll." "Did you ask the doorman if he had seen anyone enter your dressing room?" "Yes, and you know I keep my room locked. Since my necklace disappeared, I do not take any chances." "Does your maid have a key?" "No," Miss Harmon answered. "Upon occasion I have given it to her, however." "Then I suppose she knows where you keep it." "I imagine she does. But Felice could not be responsible for the witch doll appearing in my room. No person could have accomplished such a thing." "If you are suggesting that magical forces have been at work, I'm afraid I can't agree," Penny smiled. "I toss that silly doll out the window again and forget it." "Easily said, but not so easily accomplished, Miss Parker. I worry constantly. Last night I couldn't sleep a wink. I feel as if I were under an evil spell." Penny relapsed into a meditative silence. She did not wonder that the dancer was disturbed by the recent happenings. In reviewing the events which had occurred since the witch doll came into the young woman's possession, it would be natural for a superstitious person to attribute them to supernatural causes. "Either someone is playing a cruel hoax upon her," Penny reflected, "or sinister forces are at work." She thought of Nellie, and her frown deepened. Where did the former owner of the doll shop fit into the picture? The puzzle seemed too involved for anyone to solve. Presently, Penny inquired if the police were making progress in tracing Miss Harmon's missing necklace. "Not the slightest so far as I can tell," replied the dancer. "I wish now I never had reported my loss. They have bothered me with so many annoying questions. Still, I imagine it would be worth it if the necklace were returned." Miss Harmon nodded in agreement, and at the next corner parted with her friends, remarking that she would take a taxi back to the theater. "I wish I knew if she really intends to return there," Penny speculated as she walked towards her home with Mrs. Weems. "My guess is that she will go straight to see that man Osandra." "We should have warned her that he's a fraud," declared the housekeeper with a toss of her head. Penny, who was so tempted to learn if the young woman had taken the taxi, that despite Mrs. Weems' strenuous protest, she retraced her steps to the corner. She arrived in time to see Miss Harmon disappearing into the building which sheltered Osandra's seance establishment. "Just as I thought," Penny told herself. Well, at least she might have been more honest about it. The girl returned home, aware that Miss Harman had meant to deceive her. For the first time it occurred to her to wonder if the young woman had made other misrepresentations. That evening at the dinner table, Penny's father voiced a similar thought. "If I were you," he said, "I'd be cautious in my friendship with Miss Harman." Penny glanced up in surprise. "Why, Dad, have you learned anything about her?" "I was talking with the agent for the Furnace Insurance Company today." "Is that the company which holds the policy on Miss Harman's necklace?" "Yes. Payment of the claim is being held up pending a complete investigation." "You mean that the insurance officials doubt that the necklace was stolen?" Penny asked in amazement. "The case has some strange angles. For instance, Miss Harman told the police she lost the diamonds at the Black Cat, or at least that she discovered the necklace was missing immediately after she left the nightclub. Yes, her details were quite vague." "Exactly, Penny. When questioned by the police, she became rather twisted in her story. First, she said that she had visited the Black Cat somewhere around midnight. Then she couldn't be certain what time it was. Likewise, she was vague as to her escort, and finally she said that she had gone there by herself." "But I thought no one could be admitted to the Black Cat without an escort," Penny commented. "The club does have such a ruling. Miss Harman slipped up on that point. Naturally, the police were suspicious. They checked on her story. Not a waiter at the Black Cat could recall having seen the young woman there on the evening she claimed." "Then the police believe that she lied?" "Yes. I'm telling you this in strict confidence, Penny. So far, Miss Harman does not suspect that her story is being questioned." "What will be the outcome?" "Well, if the police are able to prove that the young woman deliberately disposed of the necklace in order to collect insurance money, she will be arrested for fraud." "I know for a fact that Miss Harman isn't very truthful," Penny said slowly. "But I can't believe that she would try to cheat the insurance company. For one thing, the necklace wasn't insured for its full value." "Perhaps it was," replied Mr. Parker. "You and I have no way of knowing the true worth. However, I'm inclined to agree with you that Miss Harman doesn't appear the type who would attempt a trick like that. And there is another angle which developed today." "What is it, Dad?" "I received an anonymous note. As a rule, I throw such letters in the scrap basket, but this one interested me." Mr. Parker removed a folded brown paper from his vest pocket and offered it to Penny for her inspection. She read, "Editor, Riverview Star. If you want a straight tip on what became of Miss Helene Harman's diamond necklace, ask Melvin O'Sandra." "I checked on the name," Mr. Parker revealed. "It seems the man is the medium." "Yes," Penny agreed in a strained voice. She was staring at the message. "Probably the tip means absolutely nothing. It may have been written by a misguided person who is under the impression that this man O'Sandra can read the stars and tell the name of the culprit." "Dad, there is something decidedly familiar about this handwriting," Penny said. "I'd say it had been written by the same person who sent Miss Harman a warning about the witch doll's evil spell." "Nellie Marble?" asked Mr. Parker, smiling. "No, Dad, this isn't Nellie's writing." Mr. Parker reached to take the note from his daughter's hand. "Well, in any case, I guess there is nothing to this clue. I'll burn this up." Penny hesitated and then said with a strange intensity, "Dad, I'd keep the letter. I believe there may be something in it." "Meaning?" "Meaning just this, Dad," Penny answered impressively. "I know for a fact that Miss Harman has visited O'Sandra's seance parlor. I'd not be very much surprised if that man knew something about those missing jewels." Do, 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 do.